In this video, we're going to be talking about reflections and exploring the reflectivity channel inside your shader tree. As you can see here, very simple scene, just a cube, a torus, and a sphere, each with their own material and their own color. And if we examine our shader tree, you can very quickly see all the different material groups that make up our scene. Now, I've selected the material group and its corresponding material for the sphere, the blue one over here. You can see that diffuse color, so it's shading this part of our screen. And I want to take a moment and talk about the reflection amount and the Fresnel amount, okay? The reflection amount toggles how reflective this particular material is in our three-dimensional universe. Right now, the default value is 0, and if we increase this slider, let's just do it a little bit, let's put it to like 10%, you can very quickly see, as soon as we get the preview, that it's beginning to reflect its environment. Now, I have an environment map loaded, a HDR environment map of a lovely little European town square, and with the reflection amount set to more than 0, you can begin to see the environment map on the sphere. So the reflection amount, this channel right here, is going to toggle the intensity of the reflection. So if we were to drive this up to like 50%, now we're marching more closely towards a completely chrome ball. Now, if you look very closely here, as we increase the reflection amount, we're slowly decreasing the amount of the diffuse channel because the reflections of the environment map, are becoming more prominent, except on the edges. See here, this is the blue cast here on the edge is coming from the diffuse channel, and again, you can see it down here at the bottom. So that's where the Fresnel channel really comes into play. If we wanted this thing to be entirely reflective, we would need to increase the Fresnel amount, which is going to toggle and handle the reflectivity amount along the edges. So let's put this up to 50. And as soon as it refreshes here, you can start to see that the edges are now becoming a little bit more reflective. So if we were really crank that up to 100, you can see that the result is going to be, now we're definitely getting more reflections. It's not before with the Fresnel set to 0. It was definitely blue. Now it's starting to become a little bit more reflective. One thing about reflective, it is reflecting the entirety of your 3D scene, so both the environment map and the other objects. As you can see in the reflections on the sphere, we're starting to pick up the shape of our torus, and we can easily see the green cube over here on the left in the reflections. We have a couple other options inside the reflection controls. I'm going to turn this down because the next option we're going to talk about is the the blurry reflections. And the blurry reflections take a little bit longer to process. So I want to turn the reflection amount down just a little bit so it doesn't completely destroy my processor here. The blurry reflection option, it's a toggle, it's an on-off. And what it's going to do is that it's going to blur the reflection image inside the sphere. Watch very carefully when I turn it on. There it goes, and it takes a couple seconds to upload. What was crisp and clear with it off is now being slowly blurred. If we wanted to increase the quality of this blur, we would increase the reflection rays. Now, I gotta warn you, whenever you increase your reflection rays or even turn on blurry reflections, you're gonna take a significant render hit. But it definitely looks very cool, very cool. So be prepared for a little bit of a render time when you turn on blurry reflections. Now, if you wanted to, you could absolutely turn this off to show you reflection type. At the moment, we're reflecting the entire scene, so all of our three-dimensional objects, as you can see here. Let's turn the reflection amount back up to 50 so you can very easily see the effects of toggling this from full scene, which is going to reflect all the 3D components in your scene. But we have another option here, environment only. And environment only is only going to reflect the environment map in your scene. You can see here that now we're no longer reflecting the torus and the cube. So those are the reflection controls built inside of Modo. I think you're going to find you're going to use them all the time when recreating accurate materials. Almost everything has a very small degree of reflectivity. Some objects like this, if we're trying to go for a chrome sphere, it's going to have high reflectivity channels. But some objects, like organic objects, have very low reflectivity. So 1 or 2% reflection amount is a good starting point. So that's how you add reflections inside of Modo.